What's good? What's good? It's your boy Knowledge Born. We on the Knowledge Born and Truth Show. Today episode we're gonna be talking about my book, Get on Your Grind. We gonna discuss some things about brothers getting out the penitentiary. For a lot of y'all that don't know, I did my time in the penitentiary. You know, I went in when I was a kid, and like it was hell, man. Like a lot of stuff that brothers in the penitentiary go through, the society will never really understand because they haven't stepped into those shoes. And so this book is based about preparation. So like once you get to the point where you getting close to release, you got to prepare. But this is what also a lot of brothers that's in the penitentiary don't realize. Nothing that you prepare for is gonna go your way. So you might have a great idea. You like, man, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna start me an ice cream truck. Now you've been gone 10 years. So when you left, ice cream trucks that was the big thing. Like, they selling, you making some all right money. And you get out now and you see there ain't too many ice cream trucks around. Like, what happened? Yeah, ice cream done went up. So ain't nobody buying an ice cream bar for $4. So now you gotta pivot. You gotta know how to move in that arena. So like a lot of people, they get stuck because they had this one plan or this two plans and they didn't work out. So now they like, what do I do? And they fall back into, old ways, or they give up, or they, man, forget it, I ain't gonna even try no more. A lot of things happen for guys that's in the penitentiary. I mean, that's just getting out the penitentiary. But like, get on your grind. Get on grind gonna bring you to the reality of shit get hard for people that's getting out the penitentiary out here in society. Because a lot of people don't realize the 13th Amendment did this. The 13th Amendment said anybody that's convicted of a crime in the United States is subjected to servitude. Servitude is another word for slavery. It's a code word. So a slave is nothing but a second-class citizen. And I don't know if people understand what the second-class citizen means. Second-class citizen means that a lot of things can be discriminated against you when you become a second-class citizen. That's all a felon is. A felon is a second-class citizen, and a lot of people can discriminate. They can discriminate housing. They can discriminate jobs. They can discriminate loans. They can discriminate a lot of stuff when they look at your background and see, oh, this dude been convicted of a crime. And like when I got out, I had a job my second day out, but I was on my grind. But I applied at other places too. I kept applying because I wanted 2 jobs. So I applied at Valvoline, and Valvoline hired me. They're like, oh man, this dude is excellent. He knows his things about cars. He, is respectable. He's very well spoken, all of the above. They hired me, gave me a suit, put my little name on the suit and everything. They like, as soon as your background check come back, you good. We gonna call you in and you gonna start work. So I'm like, cool. About a week or two a week passed, another week passed, and I'm like, man, they still ain't called me about this job. So I called the manager there. He like, man, they denied your background check, so we weren't able to hire you. And I'm like, it blew my mind. It kind of discouraged me for a moment because I'm like, damn, I ain't even good enough to change oil, and that's the reality that you're gonna have to come to when you get out the penitentiary is, man, it's gonna be some hard slaps in the face when it comes to, job, when it comes to dealing with your parole officer, when it comes to housing, when it comes to, just the basic stuff that a lot of people that never been in the penitentiary take for advantage. And like for me, I had to step back some and just look at stuff for what it was, man. Like, okay, you a felon. You can't do this, you can't do that. Like, you would never work at a financial institution. You would never work as some janitor job because you got keys to places that maybe, and, so these thoughts be in your head like, oh man, I never do this, never do that, do that. You got to break that though. Because, yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's closed, but Like you gotta keep going forward. You gotta fight through that shit sometimes, because the way the penitentiary happens is a revolving door. They want you to give up because your job security. When you're in the penitentiary, like those blue shirts and white shirts and wardens and security directors, they need you there because you're their job security. So once you get out and shit get hard, and they know the high probability of you returning is there, because it's like, man, shit get hard. Won't nobody hire me. Won't nobody allow me to live in an apartment building and all this other shit. What do you do? And so most people revert back to old shit. You know, they get to hustling, they get to robbing, they get to doing stupid shit that put them back in the penitentiary instead of just fighting and standing firm. And that's kind of how I was. Like, I'm like, man, shit ain't going how I want it to go, but I'm gonna keep moving, and I'm gonna keep doing what I gotta do, because I know eventually something is gonna work out. And am I at peace where I'm at in the present? Somewhat, but it still struggles being this felon out here and people just looking over you. And then it's also the struggle of you lost a lot of your life. Like, this big gap is missing here. So like when you go into get credit, or when you go into a lender, or when you go into, they looking at this big gap, like, okay, what happened here? And you know, man, it ain't nothing for me to tell them, oh man, I did some stuff when I was a kid. I, you know, ended up going to prison and this and that. But some people are like, oh, I'm cool on that. Like, I don't even want to touch that. Some people will accept you, but some people, a lot of people are gonna turn their nose up at you because you've been to the penitentiary. And so, like, in my book, our grind is different than, you know, the average person out here. Our grind is more intricate. Our grind is more, we got to pay attention to small details and take our opportunities when our opportunities present themselves. So, man, it's vital. And like on the back, as you can see, you know, can't stay out the trap. For some people, they can't stay out the trap because that's all they know. A big thing of getting out of the penitentiary and staying out the penitentiary is education. The more you know intellectually, the more skills you have, the more you're gonna get through the hills and the bumps and the roads that's gonna try to put roadblocks up for you. If you was just in the penitentiary lollygagging and bullshitting and playing basketball and chess and cards and all this shit, wasting your time, and you didn't educate yourself, you didn't build on what you need to build on, take as many trades and skills as you need to do, then you're gonna have an extremely hard time adapting to life and society, because you don't know how to do nothing. So, like, the reality is, if you don't know how to do nothing, what are you gonna do once you get on the streets? Yeah, you can work in a warehouse. Anybody can work in a warehouse. But who wants to work in a warehouse for the rest of their life? So it's like, man, we got a whole new battle we gotta go through. And like, when I talk to my guys that's still incarcerated, man, I tell them, man, like, read as much as you can, do as much as you can, learn as much skills as you can, and like, use the penitentiary to your advantage. Don't allow the penitentiary to use you. Like, when I was in the penitentiary, man, everything I did had a purpose. Like, man, I could be, I was on a paint crew in the penitentiary. So we used to paint buildings. We used to paint all types of stuff. So I learned all of them, like the breakdowns, the intricate parts of how to paint. You know, my oil bases, my water bases, my mixtures, how many coats this need, and do I need to put this primer down, and do I need to sand this and do it? I learned all of that through a penitentiary job that paid me like 17 cents an hour. But I transferred that skill to out here. So, you know, I can go in here and paint a whole house. I can go in here and strip paint. I can go in here and do all this. I took everything I could while I was in the penitentiary to make sure that my transition back to society was smooth, and that I would not have a lot of bumps in the road. And I didn't have a lot of bumps in the road. The biggest bump for me was stuff didn't move as fast as I wanted it to move, and I had to check myself about that. Because even for the person that didn't go to the penitentiary, stuff ain't gonna move as fast as they want it to move either. And so, you know, we have to always remember that, man. It's a process. And in that process, patience is this big. You know, it's huge, man. It's not no little, patience is not a little thing. You got to be able to weather the storm sometimes. Like even I own a publishing company, the Knowledge Born Publishing. Even with my books, like that was a struggle because you like, this is my first business. I'd never been in the publishing industry, and it's like, how do I make this move to where I can see some money or profit or get my message out there or do all the goals that I was trying to achieve? You know what I'm saying? And man, it was a lot of hiccups in it, and it's still a lot of hiccups in it. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they stopped. And even if you ask the person that got a Fortune 500 company and make $2-3 billion a year, hey, is it a lot of hiccups in your company? They're gonna say absolutely, because that's what life is about, man. You gotta know how to pivot. You gotta know how to move. And with get on your grind, man. Like that's what I talk about here, man. Like humbling yourself, building on your foundation. If you don't have a foundation, building your foundation. Like that's what's important, man. That's what you have to do in order to succeed. And to be honest with you, that's just not for cats getting out of the penitentiary. That's for people in general. But I'm just speaking on my brother that's coming home, my sister that's coming home, the little shorties that's coming home from juvie. You know, like, man, let's get it together, man. And this is what helped me through the penitentiary when I was writing this book, man. It's like, dude, we got to become thinkers. We got to become real conscious of what we doing when we get out here. Or you're going to be in a lifelong revolving door, man. In and out, in and out, in and out. And I know brothers that do that. I know a dude right now, he in his 60s, man. He been doing bits since he was like 17. 2 years here, 3 years here, 18 months here. And he didn't pretty much did most of his life in the penitentiary. He doing a life bit on installments. So, man, let's get it together. Hey, y'all can purchase this book, though. It's on Amazon. Get on Your Grind by Knowledge Born. Get you a copy today. If you know some brothers that's in the penitentiary, you know some sisters in the penitentiaries, man, send them this. This is a must. If you love them and you want them to get out and invest in their life, and this book is a must read, man. Is it a cure-all? Is it going? No, because it's all on the person. The person got to digest the knowledge that's in here, because man, you want your people to succeed, and once your people succeed, you succeed. Like our community succeed. Like it's a ripple effect, man. It ain't just one person. So get you a copy of this today. Send it to whoever you need to send it to that's locked up in them chains, and let's build on it. Let me know what y'all think. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and man, we gonna build on this some more, man. I'm Knowledge Born, the truth. Closing out. It's much peace.